You never know when life is gonna end. And you never know when it's gonna be the last time you're gonna step on the field. She was someone who loved softball just as much as I do. And to know that it can be taken so quickly from someone like that. Knowing that any time that I'm on the field could be the last time. Softball always was there for me. It was always the sport I had when like nothing else was going for me. That's where I got all my friendships from, was definitely softball. My best friend Ellie and I met in 6th grade. We both played softball. We met like on the junior high team. And then when we were 8th graders on the junior high team, her younger sister Livy actually played up with us. So when we were all like teammates, we all played together. So since Ellie like was my best friend, we always hung out. So I got closer with her sister Livy, and like since we were at her house all the time, then I got closer with her, and we just became more of like a family. I went to Normal West High School. So I remember we got put in this room. It was like me, my best friend at the time. We knew the varsity team was gonna go to Florida. So then we were super calm and cool. And then once we left the room, we went down this hallway and we started like screaming. We're like, we're going to Florida. Like we were so excited. And like that moment, we will never forget. Like we were on varsity, we were going to Florida, and like she was my best friend, and we were gonna be best friends since that moment. We actually ended up doing really good that year. We made it to the Elite 8, which is really like huge for our high school team. But we ended up losing in super sectionals, and our team had never like gone to state before. So I remember I saw my coach like at a complex like a couple weeks after the fact, and I like pinky promised her, I was like, I will take you to state again. My junior year is when Livy actually joined the team, and she made varsity as a freshman. And like I said, we try to go for that family aspect. So when Livy made the team, like who actually was family, we really like attacked her, and and I don't have any sisters, so she was that little sister that I never had. Senior year, we really wanted to make something happen. We wanted to make history, we wanted to leave a legacy behind. So we were winning games, and we got to super sectionals. And we ended up winning the game 1-0. And like winning that game was like winning state. Like we all piled together. Livy even was like so shocked that we did this, and it was just so exciting. And like me and Ellie had been looking forward to this since our freshman year. So in the state game, it was the 5th inning. Livy was playing second base, I was pitching. And I remember I threw like this outside drop ball, and the girl hit the ball, and it took like this nasty hop on Livy and actually like clocked her like in the mouth. And you could just see like the blood was like already dripping from Livy's mouth. Like it didn't sound good. You just knew that it was bad. And she ended up coming out of the game. We made some adjustments. And then Livy was like, I need to come back. Like I'm coming back. They stuffed her mouth with like towels and cotton. So she ended up coming back into the game. And she went up to bat like the next inning. And she went to go lay down a bunt. Safe at first. And then after that play at first, there was no one was covering second. So she took off to second base and dove headfirst like into the bag. And what player does that? And that just kind of shows what kind of wild spirit that she was, and she was just so fearless. So last year for spring break, our Seton Hall team went to Florida, and we were playing like a 10-day like trip. And we were staying like in this little condo, and they had like a tiki bar and a pool and stuff. And I remember we had team dinner, and I had come back, and I was sitting like at the tiki bar. And all of a sudden, like my phone was ringing, and I looked over, and like Ellie's name had just popped up, and it was a phone call. And I always FaceTimed Ellie, or she always FaceTimed me. So like immediately, like my heart dropped, my stomach turned. Like I was like, something's wrong. Like why is she calling me? She's not FaceTiming me. So I picked up the phone, and I was like sitting up, and I could just tell in her voice that it was like numb, like something was seriously wrong. And she was like, Reganne, Livy's been in a really bad car accident. They don't know what's gonna happen. They're flying her to Peoria right now. I don't know what's going on. And like, she just was like silent. And I burst into tears because I just had like a really bad feeling. Like I trust my instincts, and that one wasn't a good one.
After the phone call, she told us that her friend Livy was in the hospital and things weren't really looking all too great. And she was just distraught. And as a friend, you don't really know what to do when you see someone you love like that.
Livy was at an intersection She was actually coming home from softball practice, and she was taking a left turn onto Mitsubishi Motorway, and a guy blew a stop light and was going way over the speed limit and crashed into her, the passenger side, and she kind of like flew like into a ditch. But she hit her head on the window on impact, so she actually died on impact.
We were at USF and we were hitting in their hitting facility, and she kept kind of walking away. And it's one of those things you try to gauge what an athlete needs at any given time. Do they need space? Do they need a teammate with them? Do they need a coach with them? You know, like, do we need to give her cell phone, let her call somebody from home?
Reganne's the type of player that's completely selfless. I knew that deep down inside, she was affected by her loss in a way that she has never experienced. But on the field, you would never have been able to tell that she was going through something so hard in her life, because she played with extra passion. She played with intent.
Hey! How's it going?
Nothing much.
I can't believe it's been over a year and like 3 years since state. I literally was just watching the clips and I still am like in shock that it's been one that long, and I'm still mad that we didn't win.
I know, it's the heartbreak that will never go away. I look back and watch the videos and it's just like we were right there.
It still feels like just yesterday, to be honest with you.
It hurts like it was yesterday.
Yeah. And the fact that like Livy, you guys were like in the emergency room that night too.
Well, and the craziest part was she went in and played after.
I know. That was like.
There's a pretty select few people that could get hit like that and go back in the game and play.
I know.
Not everybody can do that. She has the grit.
I literally say that she has instincts and things that other people don't have, and you can't teach people to be like that.
Can't teach, yeah.
No.
Like, I was very thankful to play state with my two best friends, Reganne and Sydney. But then I always am extra grateful for the fact that I got to do that with my sister, because that was one of the greatest moments of my life, and that's something that I'll cherish forever, and I'll definitely hold on to that memory, because we were so close as a team, and being able to do that with people that you're close with on and off the field is just something that not everybody gets to do.
And even though this obviously is worst case scenario and hurts so bad, it does make you appreciate it just even more.
Yeah, it does make you appreciate the little things, and it gives you a different perspective on how you view things.
Well, I am just back from Normal West High School, where today the Wildcats played a very, very emotional home softball opener. The Wildcats' first game since the tragic death last week of senior star Livy Sonnets. There were signs for Livy all over the field. The sign "Live for Livy" out there in center field. That sign will be there all year. They've got some paint there in the center field outfield. Number 0, of course, was Livy's number. Even the Metamora team, the opponents, wearing Livy headbands.
So the Live for Livy definitely started because Livy tried to live every day was her last. So that's something that when that hashtag came about, that's what everybody tried to do. It's you never know when your last day is going to be, so live every day to the fullest.
Obviously, Liv is someone that she plays for that's not everyone has, that is something that's bigger than the game itself. It brings everything back into reality and everything into perspective. And while these 7 innings seem so super intense, you're lucky and blessed to have that pressure and have that moment.
The weekend before I got the phone call, we were playing softball at a complex, and there was a butterfly garden. And on the rock, it said, "If a butterfly flies by, it's a loved one saying hi from heaven." Me and Reganne Reddick were sitting on these stairs watching the game before us, and this third baseman had this really messy bun in her hair, which was Livy's signature look. I actually did her buns before games all the time. And I was that bun reminds me of Livy. And as soon as I said Livy's name, this giant butterfly that was blue, flew by me. And I literally was that's the biggest butterfly I've ever seen. And I told Reganne, I go, "That's Livy right there. That's Livy saying hi."
I remember, again, her working through games when she came back, and you'd call a timeout and you'd go out to the mound, and she would be having a hard time and she was struggling. And I think at one point I took a pen and I drew an infinity sign on her arm. And I was this is it. She's gonna be with you forever. And the reason why your heart hurts so much right now is because she took up so much space in there.